back to my channel, Dragon Rage Videos. I've got another Pokemon Moon Wi-Fi battle. This is the battle I had yesterday, and I am versing a Japanese trainer, and as you can see by his team, he's rocking quite a few Uber Pokemon. So generally I don't like fighting Uber Pokemon. He's got a Palkia, Darkrai, he's got Arceus himself, and a Keldeo. So let's go ahead and see what he wants to lead off with. So I'm going to lead off with my Ampharos. He decides to lead off with his Arceus. So straight off the bat, he's leading with the god of Pokemon himself. So at this point, I'm just going to pretty much go for a Volt Switch. He's going to go for a Judgment. And doesn't do too much damage. My Ampharos is rather bulky, so I am going to Volt Switch out of here. I'm going to send out my Milotic because it is a special defensive monster. However, he decides to go straight for an extreme speed here. And I still lived that even though it was a crit, and I do manage to land the Toxic, which is going to be very crucial for me. So that's pretty much the only way I can handle his Arceus. So luckily I do land the Toxic, and now he's badly poisoned. I'm going to get a few leftover recovery here. So at this point I was expecting another extreme speed, so I'm going to switch into my Arcanine just to get the Intimidate. He's actually going to go for another extreme speed, so that worked out rather well for me. And toxic damage is starting to rack up very nice, so I'm actually going to switch out again. So I need to play around this Arceus. I decided to switch in my Decidueye because it is a great counter for normal Arceus. Unfortunately, he decides to just go for a recover anyway. So he's going to get all his health back, but the Toxic is doing a ton of damage now. So I'm going to switch out again. Like I said, I need to play around this Arceus and use a lot of mind games just to get past it. I decided to go for another Intimidate. So he's at minus 2 attack now. He's actually just going to go for a Calm Mind, so it's going to get a bit scary. So expecting Judgment, I am going to switch into my Decidueye again. So there's the Judgment, and I eat that up very nicely. And Toxic is doing a ton of damage now, so he's actually going to switch out. And he's going to send out his Rotom. And I'm going to switch out and send out my Necrozma. So I ideally want to get my rocks up. It's going to be pretty helpful against his team. So he's going to go for a Shadow Ball. It's super effective, but it's a non-stab, and I take that very nicely. Unfortunately, I do get the special defense drop, but that's fine. My rocks are up, so that's pretty much the most important aspect of this battle. So now that I've got a Spadef drop, I'm actually going to switch out my Necrozma and send in my Ampharos. And he gets another critical hit. So he's going to go for a Toxic. I'm just going to go for a Volt Switch. So I'm just going to get a bit of chip damage here. Doesn't do too much, but it's a great opportunity for to send out my Aerodactyl. So I'm going to take this opportunity to Mega Evolve. And I'm going to go straight for the Rock Slide. Fingers crossed it doesn't miss, and he doesn't. He lands and he takes out the Rotom. So he's going to send out Keldeo. I know he's going to go for a Scald, so I'm going to switch in my Milotic anyway. And he does go for the Scald, and luckily for me I don't get burned. Even with the leftovers recovery at this range, I'm expecting him to go for a Sacred Sword and probably take out my Milotic, which is fine anyway. So there's the Secret Sword. And even though I am especially bulky, my Milotic is not going to be able to handle that, unfortunately. So I'm going to send out my Decidueye anyway. Great counter to a Keldeo. I don't know why Decidueye is hated. He is a great competitive Pokemon in my opinion. Helped me through a lot of tough situations. So he's going to send out his Darkrai anyway, take a bit of Stealth Rocks damage. And unfortunately for him, he did switch into a Leaf Blade. So great damage there, bit of Life Orb recoil. I'm going to switch out into my Arcanine now, and just in case he decides to go for either a Dark Void or Hypnosis. My Arcanine does carry the Chesto Berry. But however, he just decided to go straight for a Dark Pulse. And Arcanine does leave that pretty good, and I'm just going to pretty much revenge kill him with an Extreme Speed. So one of the bigger threats is down, so down goes Darkrai, very happy with that. He's going to send out his Palkia now, so this is the Pokemon I'm probably scared of the most on his team. So a bit of Stealth Rocks damage there, not too bad. And I decided to stay in anyway and just go for an Extreme Speed just to get some chip damage off on this thing. And to my surprise, it actually does a decent amount of damage. And he's just going to fire his Spatial Rend and finish my Arcanine. So bye-bye Arcanine, gets a critical hit, but obviously that didn't matter. So I'm going to send in my Decidueye again. And he's just going to fire off a Draco Meteor. And he's just basically going to blast my Decidueye into oblivion. So down goes Decidueye. Very unfortunate. But he is at -2 special attack now. So I'm going to send out Necrozma. I know I can take any special attack he wants to throw at me. He decides to go for a Spatial Rend again. So I'm able to live that rather easily, and I'm going to retaliate with a Psychic. So I'm getting this thing down. He's almost dead. I'm going to actually withdraw my Necrozma again, save it for a bit later, and send out my Ampharos. Pretty much just to die. So down goes Ampharos. I can get a free switch in now into my Mega Aerodactyl. I can easily outspeed a Palkia. And fingers crossed again, gonna go for the Rock Slide, and he does land, and I take out probably his biggest threat on the team. So here comes his Keldeo again. So the reason I switched out earlier on the Keldeo is because I wanted to trick him into thinking I don't have any flying moves, but I do have Fly. So he's just going to stay into the Fly because he doesn't have too many switch-ins, unfortunately. And I do land the Fly, and with the Tough Claws ability, that's easily able to take out the Keldeo. So here comes Sork. And I'm just going to go for another Fly again. So unfortunately for him, he decides to pop off his Z move now, which is a total waste because there's no way he can get me because I'm high up in the sky. And he does miss, however he's actually going to go for a Protect. So the fact that he carries Protect is going to be a bit of a problem for me. So at this point, the only move I can hit him is with a Fire Fang, and that's exactly what I go for, but unfortunately he does miss. He's just going to go for a knockoff anyway. Does hardly any damage whatsoever. I'm just going to go for another Fire Fang, and to make up for that miss, I get a Burn, and I also get a Flinch. So very unfortunate for him. That sort of made up for the miss earlier. And I'm just going to go for another Fire Fang now. And I took down his Sork, and he's only got that Arceus left. And after the Stealth Rocks damage, I'm easily able to take it out with a Fire Fang. So that's the battle, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't really like versing Ubers, but it was a good match regardless. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you all in the next upload.